Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davo from Archon Esports, bringing you another 1v1 StarCraft 2 cast. In the right-hand side here, our red Terran, first of all, is Drewbie. Awesome. And then in the left-hand side, our blue Protoss is FullTiltPokr, also known as Hong Ung, who is a professional Korean StarCraft 2 player. He was very, very good, actually. He's nearly on the same level as Drewbie, I'd say. I'm not sure, really. Maybe it's unfair to say anything else, really, isn't it? A little bit of trivia for you for Hong Ung, or FullTiltPokr, as he is known. He was the first person to use carriers in GSL Season 3, which is awesome. Really, really enjoyable little fact, because carriers are awesome. They're like spaceships that hold other little spaceships, and I love them. They are excellent things. Okay, so we do have Drewbie in this corner up here, who is infamous for his notorious Drewbie drops. He's a little bit of history from him as well. He has won the TL Open 7 and 5, amongst other things. Which is very, very good, of course, just showcasing what a good player he actually is. And we do have FullTiltPokr heading out here for a little bit of scouting. God, that was mouse cursor fail from me. A little bit of scouting here, and he will be going, and unfortunately not finding Drewbie's base first. It does look like he'll be going up there and seeing nothing. Oh dear, poor guy. On the other side, we do have Drewbie heading out a little bit now as well, and it does look like both players are scouting in a counter-clockwise direction, which, to be honest, if they scouted at a clockwise direction, it wouldn't have mattered. They just needed to go across the map, and of course this map being cross positions is awesome, because it means that you can't go straight through the middle of the map if your opponent holds the watchtower. And seeing as these are two professional gamers, they probably will hold the watchtower. If they don't, well, they may have to rethink a little bit about what they're doing. Obviously the watchtower is a very, very valuable resource on maps where I don't know what the TT is all about, unfortunately. Holding a watchtower is very, very important on maps where you are cross-position, because it will allow you to see what your opponent is moving out with, etc, etc. And we do have an expansion coming down here now from Drewbie as well, getting that expansion out, which will help him push this game into the mid-game, of course. Oh, and we do have a pylon up in the top left-hand corner from FullTilt, or Hong Ung. I'm just going to call him FullTilt for the purposes of this cast, if that's okay with you guys, because that is his player ID. And we do have a Stargate going down now. Are we going to see carriers? Who knows? Or are we going to see Void Rays? This is exciting times. That little bit of trivia, I think, about Hong Ung using carriers, first of all, being the first to use carriers in the GSL, has gone to my head a little bit and made me think that maybe we will see some carrier play here, and it's made me very excited indeed. We do have a Stalker poking up here from FullTilt, and it does look like it will get destroyed if he's not careful. Drewbie pulling down the ramp to try and chase it and then pulling back, seeing as it's not actually going to be chaseable. We do still have the Stargate building up here. It does definitely look like that is going to be going ahead. It's a little bit cheeky. It could be used for harassment, and we do have Void Rays on the way as well for FullTilt as well. Sentry desperately trying to destroy the SCV before it goes into the main base, but it is actually going to get into the main base and perhaps see there is not so much going on. At 6 minutes, you'd really expect a Protoss to have more than 3 gates. Perhaps because, I mean, really around the 6 minutes mark is where you want to be putting down maybe a Robocore if you're going like that. But of course, in the top left hand corner we do have the Stargate from FullTilt, which Drewbie does not know about, or at least I don't think he knows about. No, he does not know about at all. And we do have the Void Ray on the way from FullTilt now. It maybe could have been a little bit better to use this element of surprise where, well, he is actually just going to be storming straight. I don't know, I'm really interested to see what he's going to be doing with this Void Ray. I mean, obviously going in with the Void Ray is going to completely destroy his element of surprise, unfortunately. I mean, Hong-Un isn't even building any more Void Rays for some reason. It seems a little bit kind of silly to get a secret. Oh, very nice indeed. Warping the Zealots in up top there and covering them with the Zealots as well. Very nice play from Hong-Un. You have to wonder, oh, he is finally making another Void Ray as well, making the most out of that Stargate. And we do have a missile turret on the way from Drewbie here, and Hong-Un will have to be very careful about the missile turret. But his Void Ray micro is actually very, very good at the moment, just pulling off a little bit of harassment against Drewbie. Which is pretty good times, to be honest. Very nice. Good stuff. Okay, so we do have more missile turrets on the way from Drewbie, obviously trying to make sure that his opponent can't fully mess him up with Void Rays. But Drewbie, as soon as he gets Stim, Full Tilt might have to rethink his strategy, because as soon as these Marines can get hold of a Void Ray properly, it can mean really, really bad things for that Void Ray. If these Marines aren't careful, this Void Ray is going to get fully charged pretty quickly. And that can mean really, really bad things for Marines. And yet the Void Ray is now fully charged, and that can mean really, really bad things indeed. A few defensive Void Rays from Hong-Un there. And so far, this harassment is actually going very nicely indeed. But he has actually just lost a Void Ray, so I'm going to have to eat my words there. Unfortunately, more Zealots coming up here as well. And you have to wonder why Hong-Un hasn't made the most of his kind of warp-ins that he could do up here. Maybe because it could get cleared up quite nicely or quickly, but maybe that could have been an option for him. Now we do have another Void Ray on the way as well, coming across the map from that hidden Stargate, which still remains hidden. And I mean, at the moment, Drewbie has a lot of pressure put on him. We also have the death of that bunker now, and a really nice force field there, stopping the Marines from getting through and reinforcing their allies quick enough. I mean, that was a really, really good attack from Hong-Un. He really does have very good control of what is going on in the game at the moment. And here we see him working on destroying Drewbie's supply depot as well, which of course is very important. You do want to be destroying your opponent's supply depots just so they can't afford any more stuff. I mean, Hong-Un's or Full Tilt's Void Ray micro is actually turning out to be very good indeed, and very enjoyable to watch as well. We do have another Void Ray on the way as well. So he definitely is making the most out of his Void Ray expansion. Oh, and here we go. Here is another small attack. Signalled by the beginning of the Guardian Shield. It looks like they're going to take down that bunker pretty quickly, but they do need to be really, really careful of how many Marines and Marauders Drewbie actually has. Although Drewbie doesn't actually have Stim yet, so he will find it a little bit harder to get hold of these Void Rays when he wants to. But we do have Void Rays coming in here from Full Tilt, and maybe I keep thinking they're going to come around here. Yep, and they're going to utilise this back entrance. This is a kind of a really risky thing from Full Tilt, because he hasn't expanded properly yet. I mean, he has expanded, but how aggressive he's being is really, really crazy. You have to wonder if being that aggressive is actually benefiting him properly, because, as I say, he is actually nearly lost another Void Ray. He hasn't expanded yet properly, essentially. That is what I'm trying to say. And he's spending so much time attacking Drewbie that he could actually be putting himself at a little bit of a disadvantage if he's not careful. Obviously transferring some probes over, very, very good moves indeed. And we can almost see that Full Tilt almost has his expansion up now, but for a while there he was just focusing on oh, that pylon is going to go down now, so we won't see any more warp-ins. Oh, and the Void Rays need to be careful not to stroll too far into that missile turret, otherwise they will get taken down pretty quickly. Okay, so FullTiltPokr being able to continue on with his crazy good aggression, as well as making an expansion at the same time. And we do have more zones coming in here as well. It does look like Full Tilt may be going in to press the front again, but no more Void Rays on the way from Full Tilt just yet. As as the main base from Drewbie is pretty much locked down. Ooh, and nearly getting caught by those Marines as well. It does look like Full Tilt might actually be pulling back now. His harassment done, not wanting to be too over-aggressive, and of course he is holding that Xel'Naga tower that does give you a very good kind of load of map vision, if not perhaps even map control, on this map, which is Antigua Shipyard. Okay, and it does look like the Stalkers are just going to be arriving home now. To a brand new forge for them, so they can make new weapons, and so the Void Race up here, excellent, cool. And it does look like Drewbie is going to be grasping the opportunity now that he has realised that Full Tilt's army has in fact left, and destroying this pylon up here, and doing what is known as a Drewbie drop, or at least a bit of a Drewbie drop, it would seem anyway. Dropping his Marines over here and helping with mobility, or just taking them over there and then dropping them out and healing them up. So, wow, Drewbie really is actually going on the offensive right now, and this is what I meant by the fact that Drewbie had his second base up for a very long time compared to Full Tilt, and now that could have put Full Tilt at a bit of a disadvantage because Full Tilt was very aggressive to begin with. And it does seem like perhaps with some Drewbie drops in the back of the base here, we could see Full Tilt in kind of trouble if he's not careful. I mean, I think Full Tilt does actually know what's going on now, as we do see him rearranging his Void Rays a little bit to compensate for any sort of medevac threat. We do also have a scan going down from Drewbie as well. It does look like this Zealot will get taken out pretty quickly, but surprisingly Drewbie does not have Zealot slow. Oh, and very nice force fields from FullTiltPokr here, but will it be enough? That's the question. Oh, but you know what will be enough? Psystorm going down on top of Drewbie's Marines. That will be enough, indeed. And it does look like Full Tilt is going to be heading out right now, straight across the map. Or not. He's just going to kill that Marine there really quickly, but I mean, at the moment, Full Tilt is looking really good. He is actually getting his third expansion up as well, which is more than Drewbie has at the moment. That attack was a total failure from Drewbie. I mean, it wasn't a failure as in like, haha, you failed. It was, oh dear, that's unfortunate. Those force fields are really good. You failed. Sorry about that. And we do have an attack, as I said a little bit earlier, coming from FullTiltPokr here. And it does look like this could actually clear Drewbie up if he is not careful. Void Rays included are really messing up Drewbie's play at the moment. And the High Templar as well, which are a really pleasant surprise. I mean, unfortunately though, I did hear an EMP go off there and a Ghost die. And we do have that High Templar that easily had enough force storm, just getting completely mowed down by loads of Marines as well. And Drewbie sending in his SCVs here to fight. But I mean, it is really looking bad for Drewbie indeed at this point in time. It does not look good. We have Archons on the field for Full Tilt, and I mean, it definitely looks like Drewbie's base might actually just get run straight over at this point in time by this small detachment of Stalkers and Archons. But again, not wanting to be too aggressive, Full Tilt is going to pull back a little bit. I mean, Drewbie is definitely hurting at the moment. That's got to hurt really bad. I mean, if Full Tilt had a reinforcing pylon here or wherever right around this area, then he could reinforce very quickly indeed. He does have 4 more gateways on the way, so he is transitioning into a more standard build. Look how many High Templar Full Tilt is actually built. I mean, we have 2 Archons here, that's 4 High Templar, and then another 4 coming up here, which makes it into 8, obviously. I mean, really, I really like this army composition from Full Tilt. It's really good stuff, and I really like the hidden Stargate play as well, which Drewbie still doesn't know about. As far as Drewbie is concerned, that Stargate is in Full Tilt's base, and we still do have the Ghost here, which is of course pretty lethal for Archons because they only really have shield. They've only got 10 HP health, and we do have another engagement coming in here from FullTiltPokr, and an EMP going off. Oh, and there are the Psystorms. Drewbie splitting his Marines very nicely indeed, but accidentally running some more of them into the Psystorms there. That's the good thing about Psystorms. They really are very much instant and very painful indeed. And there is the GG from Drewbie. Excellent, man. I really, really liked this play from FullTiltPokr. I liked the Stargate play. I liked the Archon play. That Archon was unfortunately about to die. Yeah, it was a good game. I think FullTilt could have expanded a little bit quicker during his aggression, and then that would have been even more effective. But I mean, out of the two players, I definitely think that that FullTilt really did some very nice aggression indeed, and definitely deserved his win. But I mean, did you see the Marauder and Marine splitting when those Psystorms was going down? They were excellent, and Drewbie showed great control as well. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. If you liked it, have a good old look in the comment section. Do some comments, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Enjoy playing StarCraft, and GG.